how did a truck make the short list for family SUV? But the interior is really where it shines. Best autonomous driving feature. I'm Ingo Rademacher, and this is the all-new 2021 Ford F-150 truck. You may ask yourself, how did a truck make the short list for family SUV? The rear seats don't recline, but it's got stadium seating with a ton of legroom for the kids. It's very wide, so there's enough room for the baby, but it also has a diesel option that gets 20 and 27 miles to the gallon, and it has some of the best autonomous driving features out of any of the vehicles that we've tested so far. Of course, to turn this into an SUV is pretty simple. All you do is put one of those camper shells on the back right here, and then you have an enclosure where you can put the dog bed, the stroller, and you've got way more luggage space than you could ever imagine you would have in an extended version of, say, the Expedition. Okay, let's get right into why the F-150 made the short list for family SUV. First of all, it has a diesel option. And secondly, it has the absolute best autonomous driving features of any of the vehicles that we have tested so far. So the F-150's autonomous driving features are even better than the Cadillac's Super Cruise, because the Cadillac Super Cruise doesn't have lane centering. Blue Cruise, which is their answer to Cadillac's Super Cruise, which is hands-free freeway driving, legal hands-free freeway driving on mapped freeways. Blue Cruise is going to work exactly the same way. Where this beats the Cadillac Escalade, which is also available with a diesel, by the way, where it beats the Cadillac Super Cruise is that when Super Cruise no longer works on mapped freeways, the lane centering on this vehicle takes over, which is what I'm using right now. I'd have to say that the electronic input on the F-150 is the strongest I've felt from any other vehicle that we've tested. That's the reason it's on the short list. It has the diesel option, which is a 3-liter turbo diesel, puts out about 250 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque, so it's very similar to the wife's Range Rover engine, and gets 20 miles to the gallon city, 27 miles to the gallon highway. And if you're babying the diesel, like I always say, you get incredible returns. It's pretty much built on the same platform as the Expedition. If you don't have to have a family SUV, if you're okay with not having the captain seats for the kids, then having something like this that drives pretty much like an Expedition, but you have the convenience of having the truck bed with a diesel option, that's pretty cool. Now, we know that the 2022 Expedition was just released. It's got this new interior that the F-150 has as well. It's absolutely beautiful, but unfortunately, it didn't get the diesel option. That doesn't eliminate the 2022 Expedition, but it does open up the argument for the truck again, because the truck is available with a diesel, and my wife really likes that, and so do I, because it's so much more efficient. You don't have to go to the gas station as much, so having that diesel option is pretty sweet. It just really is up to the kids if they're okay with, you know, driving for 5 hours in the back seat of the F-150. So let's talk to them and see what they think. You got a lot of leg room, stadium seating, so you got a great view back here, but it doesn't recline. And you're not, even with the baby in the middle, you're still okay with that?
Yeah, I think these seats are comfortable enough for a 5-hour trip, even for me.
There's a lot of leg room. That's the first thing I like. I feel like you really sink into the back.
All right, I have my wife in the car with me. It's very rare to get her to do this, but she actually likes the F-150, so
yeah.
Does it work as the family SUV? That's the question.
It has a lot of room. It's very smooth when you drive it. I've driven it. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful truck.
The interior is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Very comfortable. The seats are very comfortable. I'll get it in a diesel though.
You like it better than the Cadillac Escalade, which we also had in the diesel?
Yes, I like it better than Cadillac because the seats are better. It's smoother.
Accelerate.
Whatever. This is very smooth. The Cadillac wasn't as smooth.
The brushed metal combined with the wood, with the stitching. This is the King Ranch trim, which doesn't look as nice on the outside because it has the chrome bumpers. Not as nice as the Platinum, but the interior on this is absolutely stunning. It's like a fine watch.
Sort of. It's more like a cigar shop. You know what I mean? Like you think you're gonna smoke a cigar.
A high-end cigar shop. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of leather.
It's a gentleman's vehicle, especially the outside. The outside is not my favorite at all, but this was the only one that was available. So the question is, would you give up your diesel Range Rover for a diesel F-150? And then, again, it comes down to the back seats, right? It's wider in the back than the Range Rover is. So
yeah.
Eva's in the middle right now. The boys have got decent amount of room.
Can't compare it really to the Range Rover.
No.
Yeah, it has a lot of space because it's massive. So, do I want to get rid of the Range Rover? No. But we do need more room. And this has a lot of room.
This is the V8, and my average is 14.5 miles to the gallon, so it's nothing to write home about. Right around a $5,000 option. We do make that up over the years because diesel is cheaper, and you're going to go a lot further per tank. That's another nice feature about having the diesel is you don't need to spend as much time at the gas station. It's the nicest interior I've probably seen of any vehicle that I've tested so far, or any vehicle out there, to be honest. You've got this beautiful brushed metal everywhere. The dials are absolutely gorgeous with that kind of an off-road industrial chrome finish. The steering wheel redesign is beautiful. You've got brushed metal on here as well. You've got some wood trim finishes. Also, the F-150, the new 2021, has a complete redesign of its seats. Some of you know that I tested the 2021 Ford Expedition. The 2022 Ford Expedition is coming out. It actually was just launched with a complete new interior and some exterior styling upgrades as well. Unfortunately, it didn't get the diesel. I was really hoping that we would get the diesel option for the 2022 Expedition, but unfortunately that did not arrive in that vehicle. But the 2022 Expedition is going to have these autonomous driving features that the F-150 already has. Having this ability to be able to go hands-free just about everywhere, especially with Blue Cruise, is something that we're looking for, especially for our long drives from LA to Mammoth, which is our mountain place. I'm really looking forward to testing the new 2022 Expedition when it comes out, because it will have this upgraded interior. It's even got a 15-inch iPad in the middle. That's really, really nice. And let's talk about the massaging seats. This has brand new seat design and also some new massage functions on this that are just absolutely beautiful. The heated steering wheel is spot on. It actually heats the entire steering wheel, not just the parts where you're holding it all the time. And let me turn that on right now. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, got the massage going right now. It is a luxury car. The F-150 is super quiet inside as well. It's one of the most quiet vehicles that we have tested so far, and that makes your drive less stressful. So there are so many advantages. The disadvantages, of course, are the back seats do not recline, but it is stadium seating. The cushions are nice and soft. The backs of the seats aren't too bad when it comes to lean angle, but the F-150 is extremely wide. So when you compare it to the wife's Range Rover, that's also a 5-seater, there's enough room for the baby seat to go in the middle right there, and both of my big boys still have enough room on either side. They're actually okay with this. Will we choose this over the Cadillac Escalade with the diesel, or the Ford Expedition 2022 that's redesigned with this interior basically? We don't know yet. We're gonna have to see. I am just so impressed with this. I really am. I am so impressed with it. The fit and finish in this vehicle is one of the nicest I've ever seen. You've got a digital screen right here. The layout of the steering wheel, the redesign of the steering wheel is absolutely beautiful. The center screen, this really big iPad-sized screen, is fantastic. Everything works really, really, really great in this car. Bang & Olufsen sound system. It's not the loudest. It doesn't have the best bass. But if you're like me and you're not really cranking the tune super loud and you just want to have crystal clear sound, the Bang & Olufsen, there's an upgraded version and the standard version, and they're both fantastic. They're just an absolute pleasure to listen to. This one has 19 speakers, and that is the upgraded of the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Top of the line trim models on the F-150 have, if you get the 4-wheel drive, they will have the option for 4A, which is 4 automatic that I'm in right now. You would use that. That's like all-wheel drive basically, and you can use that on dry freeways. But you would use it if you live in snow or wet climates where the roads are wet a lot and you want to accelerate fast. You can use that 4A all the time. You've got 2H, you've got 4H, which you can only use off-roading, and then you've got your lower transfer case. That's your 4L. Very clear the way that it's all laid out right here. It's super easy to use. Trailer brake, if you're trailering, you can set that, and then you also have your where you can squeeze it with your fingers. Pro trailer reversing, it's this little knob. If you don't know how to reverse a trailer, that's a fantastic option. I do. I grew up on a farm, so I know how to put my 30-foot Airstream on a dime. So I don't need that. That's kind of a waste. But if you don't know how to back up a trailer, it freaks people out, like going down a boat ramp or something. You can just turn this dial, use the cameras, and you just point the trailer which way you want it to go, and this will do it for you and steer automatically. Of course, that also has the self-parking that I never use because I know how to reverse park. One of the other things that I want to point out about this, I love the way Ford has laid out the amount of buttons versus your touchscreen. I like having buttons, and everything is kind of doubled up on here, so you can use the buttons if you want. You can also use it on the screen, which is nice. And the screen has a really nice variation of you know, having your music on there with your maps, and the way you can move that around. It's just beautiful. There's a ton of storage here. Great cup holders. They got cute little lights in here. Oh, what I mentioned before was that the lower trim F-150 models do not come with the 4 automatic all-wheel drive, which is your 4 automatic. The lower trim models don't come with that. They only come with 4H, and you can't use that on hard surfaces, just FYI. But getting back, absolutely in love with the temperature control dials, the volume and the tuning dials right here. You've got a ton of storage. You've got wireless phone charging, of course, which pretty much comes standard in these fully loaded vehicles. So to sum it up, this vehicle is for sure on the short list. We would probably put a camper shell on the back to kind of turn it into an SUV. We're getting closer. We're going to figure it out in the next few months, I think. I'm just going to, you know, review a few more vehicles to kind of see where we're at. My wife does like the Expedition as well when we had it, and she definitely likes the new interior of that as well. So, but F-150, also versatile. Let's not forget, this is a truck that is so luxurious, it's so quiet in here. And the ride quality is really, really good. It's almost there with the Expedition. I really have no complaints. Yes, it's a truck. It's a little bit bumpier, but it's also got a nice, when you hit some big bumps, it also has a nice spongy feel to it. If you don't have to have a family SUV, if you're okay with not having the captain seats for the kids, then having something like this that drives pretty much like an Expedition, but you have the convenience of having the truck bed with a diesel option, that's pretty cool.